The basketball world was left heartbroken on May 12, 2026, when shocking news emerged that Brandon Clarke had died suddenly at just 29 years old. Fans across the country struggled to believe it. Clarke was still in the middle of his NBA journey, still expected to return to the court after injury recovery, and still viewed as one of the most hardworking and respected players in the league. But within hours, the heartbreaking reports were confirmed, and the sports world began mourning the loss of a player who meant far more than statistics and highlights. According to authorities, emergency responders were called to a residence in the San Fernando Valley area of Los Angeles after reports of an unresponsive man inside the home. Paramedics arrived quickly, but Clarke was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators later stated that drug paraphernalia had reportedly been found at the residence, leading officials to investigate the possibility of an overdose. However, the official cause and manner of death remained pending, while toxicology and autopsy reports were completed. For many fans, the news felt impossible to process because Brandon Clarke had always represented positivity, effort, and resilience. Born in Vancouver, Canada, Clarke's path to the NBA was not easy. Unlike many future basketball stars, he was not surrounded by national attention early in his career. He had to work for every opportunity he received. His college basketball journey began at San Jose State University, where he slowly developed into a serious NBA prospect through determination and discipline. After 2 seasons, Clarke transferred to Gonzaga University, where his career reached another level. At Gonzaga, he became one of the most exciting players in college basketball because of his athleticism, shot-blocking ability, and relentless energy. During the 2018-19 season, he helped lead Gonzaga deep into the NCAA tournament and quickly established himself as a future NBA player. In 2019, Clarke achieved his dream when he was selected 21st overall in the NBA draft by the Oklahoma City Thunder, before immediately being traded to the Memphis Grizzlies. That move would shape the rest of his professional career. Memphis embraced Clarke from the beginning, and fans quickly connected with his hustle, humility, and passion for the game. His rookie season exceeded expectations. Clarke averaged more than 12 points per game and earned NBA All-Rookie First-Team honors. But what made fans love him most was not just his talent. It was the effort he brought every night. He played with intensity, chased loose balls, fought for rebounds, and celebrated every victory with genuine emotion. Coaches trusted him, teammates respected him, and fans admired the way he carried himself both on and off the court. Beyond basketball, Clarke became deeply involved in the Memphis community. He worked with local charities, visited schools, and spent time encouraging children to focus on education and personal growth. One organization especially close to his heart was Rise to Read, a nonprofit focused on improving literacy for young students. Clarke regularly donated money and visited classrooms, where teachers described him as patient, humble, and caring. In 2025, he launched the Brandon Clarke Foundation to support families facing hardship in Memphis communities. Friends said Clarke genuinely cared about helping people and never sought attention for his charitable work. That kindness became one of the reasons his death affected so many people emotionally. Unfortunately, the final months of his life appeared increasingly difficult. In March 2026, a calf injury sidelined him for much of the NBA season. Then, in April, reports surfaced that Clarke had been arrested in Arkansas during a traffic stop involving speeding and possession of a controlled substance. The substance was reportedly kratom, a controversial herbal supplement associated with opioid-like effects. Clarke was released on bond shortly afterward, and many believed the situation would become a temporary setback in his career. Instead, only weeks later, tragedy struck. News of his death sent shockwaves throughout the NBA community. Commissioner Adam Silver released a statement praising Clarke's passion, professionalism, and positive spirit. The National Basketball Players Association described his passing as a heartbreaking loss for the basketball family. One of the most emotional tributes came from Clarke's close friend and teammate Ja Morant, who posted a short but painful message online. "Love you, Broski. Gone way too soon." Fans across Memphis echoed those feelings. Outside FedEx Forum, supporters gathered to leave flowers, jerseys, candles, and handwritten messages in Clarke's memory. Some cried openly while remembering his impact both on the court and in the community. His agency, Priority Sports, later released a statement describing Clarke as the gentlest soul and someone who always supported the people around him. Former teammates and coaches shared similar memories, describing him as loyal, humble, respectful, and deeply caring despite his NBA fame. At the time, no official public memorial arrangements had been announced, as Clarke's family privately processed their grief. Reports stated that his body had been released to his family following initial procedures by the Los Angeles Medical Examiner's Office. Meanwhile, fans continued organizing vigils and tribute events across Memphis. Even after his passing, Clarke's legacy continued inspiring others. Donations to A Rise to Read increased dramatically as supporters honored his memory through charitable giving. Social media became flooded with stories from people whose lives Clarke had touched through simple acts of kindness and encouragement. Brandon Clarke's story is ultimately about far more than basketball. It is about perseverance, humility, and the impact one person can have on an entire community. He inspired people not because he chased attention, but because he stayed genuine in every situation. At only 29 years old, Brandon Clarke still had so much life ahead of him. Fans expected to see him return to the court, continue helping Memphis, and keep building his legacy. Instead, the world was forced to say goodbye far too soon. While official reports may eventually explain the medical details surrounding his death, those who knew him best will remember something much greater. A young man who played with heart, treated people with kindness, and left a lasting impact everywhere he went.